Yes, Alana, I feel better.
Good. I'm glad you feel better.
I had a situation. We're not going to go into the full details.
No, we don't have to.
And I talked with you and a couple people about it and how to handle it. Because, let's face it, sometimes I can be a bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
And go in there with my metaphorical guns blazing.
Right. You don't want to do that.
Oftentimes, that's not the best approach.
Right.
And cooler heads prevail, so...
Yes, they do.
I did the best I could in the situation, and I feel much better.
And I suggested yesterday, I said, I think you should wait an extra day before you respond.
So it was an issue I have with a friend, which could be resolved either in a good way or bad way by the time this is released. Without giving everything away, what I will say is... I have this weird thing when I first receive a text, I feel the need to reply automatically.
Yes.
It's different with email. For some reason with text, I feel it's immediate.
Yeah.
And also, I've been somebody who has been guilty of shunning people in the past. This was before I knew better and knew how psychologically damaging that can be to some people.
Yes.
And as a result of not wanting to be that type of person anymore, I'm a little bit more mindful, too, about getting back to somebody right away. So when you said wait, my immediate thought was, well, that's even worse than not responding to the person. But having had time to think about it, you were right. And you also suggested that I reach out to somebody who knows both me and the first question. And she was very helpful.
Yeah, I mean... She seemed that way from what you were telling me and what you read, so...
A lot of it was just echoing what you had said.
Yeah, you are right. Cooler heads prevail, and you just give yourself some time to get cool off from your anger, because you really don't want to respond to anybody when you're seething.
No.
And I, it's easy to do that. You could still be angry, but still keep a cool head. But it depends on how you handle it, too.
Yeah.
You can still be annoyed and frustrated, but still have a cool head and say, hey, I'm not going to let you do this. And I'm not going to also lash out at you, but know that you're not going to do this. And there's a time for that. But I think in this case, because I knew you were pretty frustrated yesterday, I could tell. I just said... Just calm down, just let it go for a bit. Let's focus on other stuff. We're going to make a good dinner. We're going to watch some good movies. We're going to listen to some cool rooms and just, and then that's when I told you to reach out to somebody else too.
We might also want to say that the text I wrote to the person in question, I also admitted to some things that I might have done wrong. And you know this because I went over the text with you because I didn't want it to come off as too saccharine or too angry.
Yes.
And you would agree to the fact that I admitted to some stuff that I could have handled better.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I'm not perfect.
No, we are. None of us are. Believe me.
I'm the closest, but I'm still a little bit off.
You are not the closest.
I am. No. But I thank you for listening to your close to perfect Rick.
You are not perfect.
I'm close.
Or close to it either.
Very close.
No, we all aren't. I mean, there are days where I think I'm close to it, but I know I'm not.
Uh-oh.
I'm not. I'm really not. I have some flaws too. As everybody else does.
Oh my goodness. One flaw I had, babes, outside of this was I said Robert Loggia played Roy L. and Luke E. Fuchs in Used Cars, and I was wrong about
Jack
that.
Warden.
Jack Warden.
Now, I'm not familiar with Jack Warden, but that's a totally different person.
I believe... And I could have this wrong, too, because of how wrong I got it with Robert Loggia. Yeah. That Jack Warden played Artie Lange's dad in the movie Dirty Work.
Okay. Did I see that? No, I didn't. I don't remember seeing that.
I mean, Artie Lange obviously is more well-known from the Howard Stern show.
Okay.
But before then, he was in a movie with Norm Macdonald called Dirty Work. And the premise was... Norm Macdonald decides to start a revenge business. So you hire them to... basically have your way with somebody who did you wrong.
Right.
And it's a comedy.
To take revenge, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
It's not... And you know who directed it?
Who?
Bob Saget.
Whoa, you're kidding.
No, I'm not.
That is interesting.
Chevy Chase has a small role in it.
Wow.
It's not the best movie ever made, but it's enjoyable.
But you said it was funny.
Yeah, I'm a huge Artie Lang fan because of Howard Stern and his time on Mac TV, but I'm also...
Did you just say Albert Stern?
No, I said Howard Stern.
Howard Stern, thank you. Okay.
But,
I thought you said Albert.
But I'm also a pretty big Norm Macdonald fan, too, so I'm a little bit partial in that way.
Right.
What?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, good.
Interesting. Wow. Because every time I think of Bob Saget, I think, oh, he's like the corniest comedian ever. And I was a fan of Full House, and he definitely fit the role in that show because it was a family-oriented show. But otherwise, he just didn't seem funny to me. And the fact that you watched a movie and you liked it, and that he directed was really surprising to me.
I thought the movie was good. This is going to sound hard to say. I kept hearing that Bob Saget is a really good comedian. And finally, I watched one of his HBO specials.
Wasn't that great?
He's dirty outside of Full House, but dirty doesn't make you good.
I would agree. You can be raunchy, but actually make people laugh about it.
I love a lot of raunchy, edgy comedy. I'm a big
Yes, I know you do.
Andrew Dice Clay fan.
You made some pretty edgy jokes today.
That I don't think I'm allowed to say.
No.
I am allowed to say, but you would be upset. So
I would be very upset with you.
But raunchy also has to be good. You can't just say fuck a million times and make me laugh. Well, maybe you could, but Bob Saget couldn't do that.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Jeeves. Yes, Jeeves. How are you feeling this morning, babes?
I feel good. I slept really well. I did. I slept pretty. I think I fell asleep like after. Oh no, it was close to 11. I think it was.
No. Oh yeah, we went to bed before
10:51. I think 10:50, somewhere around there.
You're right, because we talked a little while.
Yeah, because the movies weren't over until after 10 o'clock, like 10:05 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. I slept really well and we made some good sandwiches, or rather, you made good sandwiches. I helped out.
You bought the ingredients.
I bought the ingredients, but you were very kind and you made them and served them, and they turned out really good. And we used up all the bread, and so tonight, what are we gonna do tonight, bud?
We're gonna do a broccoli kale bake with some brown rice and a little bit of feta cheese. We will be having avocados, but they don't cook well, so we're going to add them to the top later on.
We are.
Yes.
We are.
Yes, yeah, well.
We're going to also add some tomatoes in there. Did I say that?
No, and I forgot to say that.
Yeah, so we're going to add some broccoli, kale.
Some
tomatoes, feta cheese. You want to do it over rice.
I'm thinking brown rice, yeah.
Yes, I will be cooking, I will be helping with the rice, and we're gonna top that off after we take that out of the oven. We're gonna top that off with a couple of avocados.
Nice,
Jaylo. And they're still really good. I've had some really good luck with Hass avocados.
I have too, especially since I've started shopping at Walmart.
Yeah, they're really good. I think what it is, it depends on the brand, because Hass avocados apparently are like, I think they're organic.
I know I have talked to you about this ad nauseum, but did I mention my avocado issues?
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
On the podcast? Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yes. And you said that you were having problems, but then I started ordering Hass avocados, and I felt like they were really good avocados.
Yeah, well, they are good.
They are good avocados.
I love avocados.
I think it depends on the brand too. I think that's what it is. Mm. But I'm just guessing. I don't know what brand of avocados you got that were really not good.
Yes.
But I'm excited for what we're gonna make tonight.
I am too. It should be a lot of fun. Dude.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
What rooms did we go into yesterday?
We went into quite a bit. So before we went into one of our favorite rooms was the Italian cooking room, which is really, really fun.
And I did something stupid in that room that you were not aware of at the time.
What did you do?
Well, I didn't go up on stage and yell out, I'm going to kill myself or something weird like that. But what I did do is I promised somebody that I was going to ping her into the room.
And you forgot.
And I completely spaced out on it until like 5 minutes after the room.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she might have, this person I'm guessing is a she, right?
Yes.
Might have forgotten about it.
She seemed pretty interested when I told her that I was in an Italian cooking room.
Well, the next time you find her on, or the next time you're on there again, which will probably be like on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then you should ping this person in.
I will, and if I see the girl who wanted to be pinged in before, then I will apologize to her and say I
forgot.
I forgot.
Yeah. So before we went to the Italian cooking room, some of the rooms were hit and miss. Like there was one philosophy room that didn't sound that great to me.
I think we in all fairness, sorry to interrupt you, we were only in that room for like a minute or two, right?
But I think also because somebody's sound wasn't good, and I thought,
oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I was like, nah, I don't want to listen to two people one of them I can't hear. So, and then we went to the Friday takeaways from the audiobook narration room. Mm-hmm. And I asked a question.
Yes.
I think she answered it pretty well.
Oh, good.
That's when we kind of ran into some things, but we're not going to go into that one. Yeah.
What other rooms did we? Oh, we went into an Italian to English room, right?
We went to learning Italian.
Yes.
That was interesting. That was really interesting, especially learning the numbers.
The only thing was I didn't understand half of what they were saying.
I know.
Ba-dum-bum.
But the lady was really, she seemed like a really good teacher, and how she was explaining them how to pronounce it. And a lot of them were really good at pronouncing Italian words and numbers.
Yeah.
Very good. Some of them were a little too fast. and counting the numbers, because they were counting from 0 to 10. And she's like, oh, Speedy Gonzales. So one lady. But there was an English lady in there, and she was really good too. We went in there, and then we went to what was the other one? It's about attachment styles. But we were in there for a little bit, but I didn't quite. I wish they would be able to go through some of the specifics, because I studied them and I forgot some of the specifics, like avoidant style and what is the other one, anxious, and I forgot all of them, and I wanted them, and I guess we went in there in that room that was like, it was probably in the middle of the room, so it was after it started.
Yeah, that happens a lot with Clubhouse.
And I really wish that they would do like a recap of the styles, because I did study them at one time and I forgot all of them. Yeah. So it's one of those like sociology type of things, or psychology things that you would study.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's fascinating.
Were those all the rooms we went into? I know we spent a lot of time in both the Italian cooking and the Italian language rooms.
Yeah. You wanted to go in there. You wanted to go into a room that was like a social room, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't know these people. Maybe next time.
The one guy who hosts the room is really, really nice. And I went in there earlier this week and started talking with him. Mm-hmm. And I had to go after like 10 minutes. And I felt really bad because I did want to know more of his story. Because you know how I am.
Yeah, you want to know people's story.
People will oftentimes, babes, accuse me of just like interviewing them.
Yes.
And saying, is this a conversation or an interview?
Ah.
And I really, but I just didn't have the time to go into it.
That's how I felt like on our first date.
Is it really?
No, I'm kidding. I was surprised that you were bold enough to ask me such deep questions on our first date.
My workout buddy, who I say introduced us but didn't really.
No.
Then a couple of days later when we were working out, I told him that we got into politics. And he's like, why did you do that on a first date?
Yeah, I would agree with him on that one.
Yeah. He's like, who does that?
Only you,
I did.
apparently.
Yes.
Well, I was completely honest, and I thought, well, and what do I know? I think, I wasn't nervous. I was more nervous for the second date than anything.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was crazy, but we don't have to go there now.
We don't, because I think we talked about it ad nauseum.
We even did a skit about it back before society shut down.
We did, and apparently a lot of people liked it.
I remember, babes, after we did it,
yes,
a girl maybe in her 20s comes up to us and she's like, I have to know, is that real? The thing about the date? And I said, oh yeah, but we underplayed it in the skit.
No, I think you over exaggerated, because it really wasn't as exaggerated as you wanted to put it, and it wasn't that exaggerated.
My belief
I was very confused that night.
We downplayed it, but
I was very no. I think it was I think it was a little exaggerated, and I also think that your account is very exaggerated.
No. But moving on, because we don't have to go there.
With its water under the bridge, you got me. It's been almost 3 years. You got me.
That's white there, Jaylo. But it was fun. We had a good time.
Yes.
And we ended up watching a couple of movies.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did, Jaylo. I showed you a film called Used Cars, which I had only seen once before, back in 2013, but I really enjoyed it. Would you like me to give the recap?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Kurt Russell plays Rudy, who is a car salesman working for Luke E. Fuchs, who runs this used car dealership across the street from another used car dealership ran by his brother, Roy L. Fuchs. And there is this freeway that is going to be built that's going to take out one of their car dealerships. Roy wants his brother out of the picture, so there'll be less of a fight. He sends over a mechanic of his to do a test ride with Luke. Now, we should also say that Luke has a heart condition. So he's not supposed to be tested in such a manner.
No.
Right before they get in the car, Luke gets a call from his daughter who moved away to some commune like 10 years ago.
Yep, and out of the blue, he just calls like, it's a miracle, it's a miracle.
He's really happy to hear from her.
Yes.
But they go on this ride, and the guy does all these crazy moves.
And he's hired by his brother.
Yes. And almost breaks the car.
And he runs over the pills.
Yes.
And the pills are on the heart medication's on the ground, right?
I think it falls out of the car or the truck because it's speeding.
Right.
And all these crazy.
And he's like, he can't breathe, and
there's this great scene. Kurt Russell is negotiating this price with a customer, and the customer says, I want $50 off. $50 never killed anybody.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell leaves. The guy repeats the line. Luke comes into the room, grabs the guy and is basically like, gasping for air and keels over.
He keels over like in the outside of the building, right?
Yes. We should also say that Rudy needs to raise $10,000 because he wants to run for, I believe it's governor or something.
No, he wants to be a senator.
He wants to be a senator, and he needs to pay $60,000 to get this party's nomination. And he has 50, but he needs the other 10. Which I thought was great.
Wow.
And he keeps the money in a safe located in his refrigerator. But
that was funny.
Yeah, Luke was going to give him the money, but he died. They realize that they can't let the car lot be taken over by Roy.
Right.
So they put Luke in a car and they bury it.
And they bury it in this ditch, right?
In the ditch at the...
Or the pit, or whatever you call it.
Pit at the car lot.
Yes.
Go about their lives. Do a bunch of crazy stuff. There's a great scene where they go to this football game and jam the signal to air a fake commercial for the car lot.
Right.
Which really made me laugh. And Roy knows that his brother is dead because he sent over the mechanic to make sure that things got taken care of.
Right.
But he can't come out and say that, right?
Not yet, no.
So he keeps going to the car lot and being like, where's my brother, Luke? And at first, Kurt Russell's like, oh,
He went to Miami.
He went to Miami. You just missed him.
You just missed him. He went to Miami.
Yes.
And this is around the time that his daughter shows up.
She comes back in,
and they think that she's a part of what is it?
I think the Better Business Bureau.
Not the Federal Business Bureau, but it was some kind of organization, because they thought they were going to get in trouble.
Yeah, and then
she starts crying.
These are not the most respectable people.
No, they're pretty sleazy.
When Kurt Russell first meets the daughter,
yes,
she looks at the car and says, "Did this used to be a cab? That looks like yellow paint beneath it."
Yeah, like, that's primer.
Yes. Which we'll get back to that in a minute.
We will. That's going to be an important part.
Kurt Russell is attracted to her. The first football prank worked really well. So he has the idea of, well, why don't we jam the signal to
the president's address
and do a commercial?
And it's implied that they don't like this president.
Well, it's Jimmy Carter, who was very unpopular at the time, even though from what I've heard since, he was a great president. But that's a whole other.
No, I've heard mixed things about that. But
that's a story for another time.
I digress.
That's an argument for another time.
Hey.
I wasn't alive during his administration. You were, though, so you might know more about it.
Bubs, I was a baby. I didn't know anything. I was like 2 years old.
Gee. In any event.
You always make me sound older than I am, but I don't like that.
I would never do that.
I resent that.
I would never do that.
You say sorry.
Sorry, I would never do that, and I never have. Can I get a kiss? Come on, you want to give me a kiss?
Okay, I will, even though you're ragging on my age.
I would never do that. Now give me a kiss.
Okay.
Okay, back to the movie. Kurt Russell begins going out with, what was the homegirl's name?
Barbara Jane Fuchs.
Barbara Jane Fuchs.
What a name.
He takes Barbara Jane to dinner.
Yeah.
Everything is going all right, and then they put on the presidential address.
And he acts like he can't breathe.
Yeah, he freaks out because he knows what's going to happen. So they go outside, and there's a TV behind him. So he turns around, he kisses Barbara Jane, and he pushes both of his hands up against her ears as the commercial comes out.
And they go back in there, right? This is when they're back in the bowling alley?
No, the bowling alley... If I remember correctly, the bowling alley was...
Oh, that was their first date.
Yeah. And
okay.
Their second date was the fancy restaurant.
Right. So he kisses her as they go back in there and covers her ears?
He kisses her. They stay outside because there's a TV behind her, and there's also television sets inside the restaurant watching it.
Okay.
So they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, everybody's at the car dealership.
Because of the commercial.
Roy figured out where the body was, but the mechanic who worked for Luke digged up the car and basically releases it so it looks like Luke is driving
the car. Yeah,
and he hits this like electronic thing that explodes.
and now Luke is completely smithereens.
Yes,
burned.
We might also want to point out that in between the Carter interruption and the morning that Luke was destroyed, at least his body was,
yes,
Kurt Russell is in bed with Barbara and gets a phone call saying that Roy found out about it.
Right, and he gets a call from Jim, and he's thinking that she can't hear this. And
then his machine recorded the entire thing. So after he left, she listened back.
Yep.
She comes to the car lot and says, "Tell me the truth about my father." And he's like, "He's an Aspen."
He's an Aspen. And then she smacks him.
Which I thought was great.
I'm guessing they're in Colorado. The movie is set in Colorado. Is that right?
I got the impression that it was actually set in Arizona.
Okay, but in the movie they were mentioning Denver and Aspen, so I wasn't sure if that's...
I could be wrong about that, but
okay,
that's my thought. Anyways.
That's funny. Anyway.
Yes. Barbara Ann takes control of the business, fires Kurt Russell and the gang.
Yes.
And Roy is waiting for her to fail. So the highway will be expanded into her area of the street and not his.
And so they're listening. I think there's a scene where they're listening to her trying to sell the cars. She's not doing very well. So he's like, hey, listen to when she says the word style.
And she said the word mile earlier.
She said mile. So look at this. And it was a media guy, right? He was trying to edit the recording.
A media guy who's friends with Roy. And they edit it in and then sue her for slander after the commercial airs. Which would not happen in real life.
No, it wouldn't, but it was funny.
Yes.
I thought that was like, wow.
Okay. She goes to court. The Honorable Judge Grandpa Al Munster resigning.
Al Lewis.
And says, well, we're going to come down to your lot later this afternoon. And if there's less than a mile of cars, we're going to
take the lot away.
Yes. Kurt Russell had earlier screwed over this guy who taught high school students how to drive.
Yeah, that's right.
So he buys these super cheap cars and tells the guy, okay, we're going to have your students do like a live driving exam.
Yeah.
They go to the lot. There's a conflict between Roy and everybody during this.
And then the two kids that are trying to learn how to drive.
Yes. Barely make it. Everything succeeds. And I know I'm editing a lot of stuff out, but we don't want to go on all night.
Yes.
And at the end of the movie, after the lot is saved, an old lady comes up to Barbara and says, was this blue car a cab? Because there looks like there's yellow paint on it. And then
she looks at
Kurt Russell. Rudy.
And she's like, yeah, actually, ma'am, this is a yellow primer.
Yeah, and Rudy's like, yeah, this is, we're using this nowadays. It's a lot more modern. He puts his hands over Barbara on one side and the old lady, and they walk off. The movie ends.
Well.
This isn't the best movie ever made, but it's a lot of fun.
I would give it a 7.
I'd give it a strong 7.
Yes. I don't know that I'd give it a strong 7, but I'll give it a 7.
What were some things you liked about it that maybe I forgot to mention? So you forgot to mention the guy, Jeff, right? Because remember they were waiting for his car. Because he didn't want to drive a red car.
Yeah.
And they painted this car blue.
Right.
And then part of the paint scraped off, so he realizes it was actually red.
Yeah.
And stopped the car in the middle of the road.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was trying to, and then they convinced him and say, hey, Jeff, Rudy's like, Jeff, you're actually driving a gray car. Okay.
Yes.
Come on, Jeff, you gotta get here because we're gonna be so many cars short and we need your car to complete this mile. And then he's driving. Didn't you say he was driving and the train came and he's like, that better be a freight car?
And he goes over this thing and jumps over the side of the train.
Yeah. Not smart.
Not smart, but it works.
In his car? He jumps over the car. Not a smart thing to do. He would get killed in real life.
Probably.
You just don't do that.
Yes.
You just wait for all the cars to go and then you go. Anyway, so he gets there on time. They get to keep the lot in the sleaziest way possible.
Another scene I really like in the movie, Babes, is after they jam the signal of the football game. The next day, there's tons of people trying to buy cars, and there's this family who comes in.
Yeah.
They really like the dog. The dog goes underneath the car, and Jeff, I believe, pushes a rock underneath their tire. So when they go, it makes it look like they killed the dog.
And was that Rudy was driving or something? And he's like, "You killed my dog."
No. It was Jeff.
It was Jeff's like, "You killed my dog."
Jeff was outside of the car,
and they're all crying. His wife is crying, and then he's like, "Listen, sir, why don't I just buy the car?"
And then to top it all off, they leave the parking lot as they're driving away. The back door of the car falls off, and 2 of the kids fall out and start to run after the car.
How many kids were in that car? It sounds like there was a lot of kids.
I don't know, 4 or 5 maybe.
Okay. Because it sounded like it was a whole group of them.
Yes. I really like, too, that everybody in this movie is pretty sleazy.
Yeah, they are. I did like that one scene where Toby was trying to wake Jim up.
Yes.
And Toby's a cute, Toby was a really smart dog in this movie. And he starts, didn't he pee on him or
He
something?
peed on him.
Yeah, he's a good doggy.
Yes. Let's do some character analysis, maybe.
Oh, okay.
What does Rudy teach us about moving up in life?
Well, I guess in his case, the sleazier you are, you could possibly make it to the Senate. But that's in his case in the movie.
I think that's maybe a reflection of reality. I don't know.
Well, some people have used sleaziness to get ahead, of course. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that can work in every single case. But I think that that Rudy cheated, and it's in this kind of movie that works, but I don't think it would work in real life, obviously.
Do you think that Rudy ever learns to care about anybody besides himself?
No.
Okay.
No. Why else would he be a senator?
Well, we discover that he never becomes one.
Oh, that's right.
Because he runs away from the car.
That's right. That's right. You're right. Okay, so he doesn't become a senator, but I don't think he learned his lesson even after he tricks that old lady and and has completely tricked Barbara. So
I don't think his relationship with Barbara lasts that long.
I don't believe so either. I think he may grow up to be old and alone.
There's this idea in the world of, I don't know the technical terms, I'm just going to give it to you. Mm-hmm. The good girl gone bad. Uh-huh. Okay, so you're familiar with it, and it's pretty self-explanatory.
Of course, yeah.
Does Barbara, at the end of this movie, is she the good girl who goes bad? Because we know that she left her father to live in some sort of a commune for 10 years.
Whatever the commune is, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't really get much insight into that.
Yeah.
Or is she returning to her own ways because we know that she was born into this type of family?
Good girl gone bad as far as when she left the...
Well, so she leaves the commune.
Yeah.
And we believe that she's a good girl.
Yes.
But she also knows how her family is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, she seems all right with scamming the old lady out of some money.
Right. Maybe she does that for a while and then she decides it's not for her. That's my theory. Mm-hmm. Whether or not that's true, I guess we'll never know. But I think she just is like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. I think and then she's thinking, well, I think my relationship with Rudy isn't going anywhere either, so I'm just gonna leave.
Do you think that in her case, being part of a commune was good because she left a family that we can assume had some questionable morals?
Yes. Possibly. Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know what kind of a commune it is. Every time I think of commune, I think of like really hippie communes.
I do too.
And I don't think they're ever good, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
I told you I thought of starting a commune years ago.
You said you wanted to start a cult, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would be fun.
No.
But then I realized that's actually probably
that could be the quickest way to turn people against you. I think. Yes, but that's just me.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Thank goodness. I don't want to date a cult leader.
My cult starting days are over now.
Thank you.
Yes, that's all my past there, Jaylo.
Thank you. When did you think about that? When you were little?
No, when I was I guess I was little, or I was in my mid-20s when I thought
you were younger.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't really little. But
you weren't littler, but you were a little bit young.
I was a little guy.
A little guy?
26.
You look like you're 6?
No, 26.
Okay, a little guy of 26. Yes. Oh, funny. Okay.
Yes. What do you think Roy L. Fuchs teaches us about family?
I don't think he really cared about his brother, honestly. I think he, see, here's the thing though, and I think I made this point. Luke I mean, it's implied that Luke is sleazy also, but he seemed a lot nicer than Roy.
He's a couple of degrees closer to being a decent human being than
Yes, because he cared about hearing from his daughter. He was so happy. I mean, that's all he really cared about when, before he died. He's like, I can't believe it. My daughter called me. It's a miracle, right? And Roy could care less about his niece. He wants her to fail in the selling of cars, and all he cares about is getting that lot from his brother. He didn't really care. Yeah, I mean, he kind of had the same mentality as Rudy, except he was a lot sleazier.
Mm-hmm.
He was willing to use families to do his bidding because he had that family carnival. Remember?
That was great. After Luke dies, he does this carnival, but then the guys from the competing lot have these strippers dance on top of the car.
See, I thought that Roy would have had them.
Yes.
Because remember,
but Luke is already dead by then, so he doesn't really have a say in it.
No, I know. But remember that one thing where the one lady gets her blouse stuck in the car?
Oh, that's actually at the football game.
Yes, that was a football game, but I forgot that scene.
That was great.
So that's why I thought that Roy may have had the strippers instead of Luke.
Well, Roy also wants to appear like a respectable businessman.
Right.
And
he doesn't care who he steps on. No. But I honestly think that if Luke was given a chance, maybe he would have turned his life around. Possibly. Because he didn't seem nearly as conniving and sleazy as Roy.
I don't know that he would have turned things around because he was already an older guy.
True. He was.
And he was basically a mentor to Rudy.
True, you're right. You are right.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know.
Where do you think Rudy is today?
He's probably looking over his life and thinking, "Wow, that was a stupid way to try to get to the Senate seat. I'll never be in politics." He's probably writing a memoir of my life as a used car salesman and why I'm so old and alone. Why I didn't marry Barbara because I was stupid. I don't know. Maybe he's writing memoirs appearing on MSNBC.
That's possible. Or Fox News.
Or appearing on as a CNN commentator. I don't know.
You never know that.
I was a used car salesman. I know they were used cars and they were pretty cruddy cars, but I made a lot of money doing it the way that I knew how, the sleazy way.
Yes. Is there anything about this film you didn't like? I have a few complaints.
I didn't understand the bombing of the cars. That was kind of weird. Remember when they took that spot from the president?
Yeah, what they were doing is they were shooting cars and they bombed and they exploded a couple of them, but they were on Roy's lot and not on Luke's lot. So they were basically destroying Roy's good cars.
They destroyed his cars.
I thought that was really funny, actually.
Okay, I didn't like that one. I didn't understand it. I was like, okay, what's the... Yeah.
The point of it is to make it look like they have better cars and to also ruin Roy's inventory to a certain extent.
True.
Yeah.
What I didn't understand either, right? Because I thought, remember when they wanted to keep Barbara out of the loop?
Yes.
By saying, we will, why don't we get her a ticket to Miami, say that Luke wants her down there. Rudy's like, I don't want to do this to her, but then he ends up cheating her also.
Yes.
So I didn't understand that either.
That worked for me because Rudy is very sleazy, but he also looked up to Luke. Yeah. Now, you could argue that's because he saw a father figure who also is a con man.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, he did. And so that's why he was so conflicted.
Okay.
Let me give you a problem I had with the movie.
All right.
I felt that the action scene with the cars at the end of the movie when they're trying to get to the car lot went on a little bit too long.
I would agree.
That could have been shortened. That could have been half as long. And
I
it
would
probably
agree.
would have been more effective.
Yeah, because it didn't have to be an extra hour or whatever.
Yeah. That was my main issue with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I thought it was really good.
Okay.
Are there any questions about the characters or movie in general that you would like to ask me?
Let's see. What other stuff was Jack Warden in besides... Wait. Was there another movie he was in besides this one?
I told you that I think he played the dad in Dirty Work.
Yes.
I know he's been in a bunch of stuff. I just don't remember off the top of my head.
He's probably gone now.
Yeah, I think he died in like 2010 or something.
Wow.
Yes.
He was old.
Yes.
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 Any other questions about the movie?
Well, I would agree that Kurt Russell plays sleazy really well.
Yes.
He's good in this one, and he was also that sleazy carpenter in Overboard.
And he played the sleazy stuntman in Death Proof.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
Oh.
Yes.
Keep going there, AJ.
Was that pre-Goldie Hawn, or was that...
No. Death Proof came out in like 2007.
Okay.
It was a Quentin Tarantino movie, and the way they did it, it was a double feature. So Quentin Tarantino is good friends with Robert Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
They both grew up, as did I, going and watching a lot of double features.
Right.
So they thought it would be cool to release two movies as kind of one big film.
Mm-hmm.
The first half of it was called Planet Terror. And that was a part that Robert Rodriguez directed. And then the second film was Death Proof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, you do. Whoa.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We should actually do Planet Terror and Death Proof one night.
I don't know.
Oh.
Sounds like some horror movie.
Oh. I think you're correct there, Jay. Well, but they're kind of fun.
Oh.
They're not meant to be taken seriously.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it kind of like Death Becomes Her?
Because
Because Death Becomes Her, I know, was like a comedy, but there's also some like morbid stuff in there that made it funny.
A little bit more gore
Ew.
in the Planet Terror Death Proof combo.
Oh.
But they're still fun.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really a horror movie person at all. But I'll think about it, though.
We'll get there when we get there, as I'd like to say.
Yes.
Would you recommend this movie to anybody in your life?
I would if they like cars.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of poking fun at mechanics.
Yes.
Like I'm sorry, not mechanics, but car salesmen.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Who would ever want to start a business selling really, really used cars?
I don't know.
That's a...
I wonder how often people talk with Kurt Russell about this movie.
Yes.
Because I don't know that it's considered a classic,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really good. I don't think it's really remembered that much, though.
Yeah. They don't remember him unless they watch Overboard or...
Well, they don't remember this movie.
They don't remember this movie, yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. But he's really good in it, just like, so many other movies with him.
Yes, it's so interesting that you find really old movies that you watch it again and it's like, wow, I just thought that was so underrated.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah?
Well, because, I hear that he's super conservative, but that Goldie Hawn is, super liberal.
Oh, wow.
And also, he helped raise her kids, and that's... I can do that. I don't get the thing of a man raising another man's kids. That's just beyond my comprehension.
That, I think, also because you're not in that situation, but some men, some men step up to the plate and say, hey, I love your kids and I love you and I want to help you raise them because I love them as much as I love you. Which is, I understand. I can understand how, well, even with women, right? Mm-hmm. Women, I don't know how, I would imagine that a woman would have a hard time being a stepmom to some other woman's children.
Yeah.
Right? And not only that, but a lot of women who have children will criticize stepmothers for not being the mother that they are. I mean, at least that's what I would imagine. And I'm like, why would a woman? I mean, good for the woman who wants to help with the children, but I just don't know if I could marry somebody with kids because it's a lot of they're bringing in a lot of baggage from their last relationship, their last marriage, and then you have to deal with the ex. And I'm just like, I don't know how women do it. I don't know how men do it.
No.
It's just a lot. It's so complicated.
Yeah.
And then you got, and if they have to go to court, there's court proceedings and there's legal stuff. And I just don't see the point in being more stressed out. It's just such a stressful situation.
I agree with you. So even though I don't agree with Kurt Russell's politics at all, he does seem like a very solid guy.
Okay. Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember who Goldie Hawn's ex was, but I believe Kate and Oliver Hudson are her kids. Yes. Oliver Hudson being the actor, and Kate Hudson
is also an actress.
Yes.
Didn't she win an Oscar for Almost Famous?
Oh, I don't know.
She was at least nominated, I think.
I didn't see Almost Famous, but I liked her in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I thought that was a really funny movie.
I can't vouch for that. I didn't really like Almost Famous as much as other people, but I will say that Kate Hudson is pretty good in it.
Okay, I did not see that, but I heard a lot about that movie.
Yes.
Yes.
And their son is in this new comic book show on Disney Plus. I think it's called Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Whose son?
Wyatt Russell, the son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I didn't realize they had a son.
They had a kid together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so he's in a comic book.
Comic book TV show.
Comic book TV show, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, yeah, well.
Wow.
Yes. But, I don't know, maybe one day I'll meet Kurt Russell, but I doubt it.
No.
Yes.
No. I mean, we were having this conversation this morning about how we've had fantasies of running into celebrities in the weirdest locations.
Absolutely. I mean, that's when I was younger. Now I don't really care.
I don't really care either, just because I think I'm so, me personally, I'm not so starstruck with Hollywood anymore. I mean, occasionally I'll think about other people I'd like to meet, but I know that most likely I'll never meet them.
And for me, I haven't met anybody who's an A-list celebrity, but I know a lot of working artists who know A-list celebrities.
Which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
So it kind of breaks down the mystique for me. But when you're a kid, you obviously think about this stuff a lot, or at least I did.
Yes.
Yes.
I had fantasies of meeting celebrity crushes in the oddest of locations, and of course they're just fantasies, and girls like to dream about that stuff, but I know it's not going to happen. I mean, but I always wonder, Bubs, and we've talked about this before.
Tell me.
And if I'm repeating myself, how do celebrity men or celebrity women, how do they meet your average guy or average girl and they end up marrying them?
That rarely happens.
I know. Right? I know. Because you kind of have to wonder, well, do they love me because I'm so famous? Or do they love me because they actually love me?
But celebrities have normal-ish friends, right?
Yes, they do.
So it's possible that you could say to a normal person who you know, hey, I'm Kurt Russell and I just broke up with Goldie Hawn, send me up with a 26-year-old or something. Not to say that would ever happen, but
As far as we know, they're still together.
Example. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I think they're both still alive.
Yep, still alive and kicking.
Yes. They haven't kicked the bucket yet.
Not yet. It's coming up soon, but gotta wait a little while first.
Oh, you want them to die already?
No. They're both cool.
They're both very old.
They did a movie together last year. It was a Christmas film for Netflix.
Did they really?
Yeah, he plays Santa Claus and she plays Mrs. Claus. I didn't watch it because it seemed like a dumb kids movie.
Yeah.
But I saw them promote it on, I think it was CBS Sunday Morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you will.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, I heard she looks fairly young for her age.
For her age.
Yeah, for her age.
Yeah, she doesn't look like, she did all laughing.
She doesn't look like me.
No. No.
No. Yeah, she didn't look like a 20-something-year-old on Laugh-In. I think she was 20-something.
No, she might have been like 18. I don't know.
I remember watching Laugh-In episodes, and I thought they were pretty funny.
Yes.
I think, was Jonathan Winters in that show?
Don't think so.
But I know for sure Goldie Hawn was.
Mm.
And I think Carol Channing was a guest on one of the... Carol Channing was so old.
You know, I really don't know a lot about her. Except that I think... No, I'm sorry. I don't think I know anything about her now that I'm thinking about it. I know the name.
Carol Channing did some a guest appearance on The Muppet Show. She did some voiceover stuff. I forgot what other stuff she was in. I know she's been in some animated stuff, but I don't know what other movies she was in.
Nice.
She might have been on Broadway.
That would go, Jim. Well,
She might have been like a Broadway actress instead of like a movie person. I don't know.
Babes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about used cars, or do you think we covered it well?
No, I think we covered it pretty well.
Thank you. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought you would be a little bit turned off by some of the blasphemy in it. But I guess being around me, you're used to that.
No, of course I was turned off by it. I just didn't mention it because you heard me say it ad nauseum.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good, you.
There is a lot of blasphemy in it.
Yes.
I don't think it was quite as mocking as From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wow.
It was still a mocking. I'm not going to say that I'm happy about it, Bubs. I'm not going to say, oh, this is better. No, no, it's still just as bad. But I think I think From Dusk Till Dawn was worse.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Would you say that's I mean, it's just my assessment.
I completely disagree. I think. Well, listen, I don't really study the Bible. I mean, I do it with you because it's fun. And we make a podcast out of it. But I don't just it's a Saturday night, let me just read the Bible by myself. But as somebody who's not a Christian, I would think that used cars is worse. Because at least with From Dusk Till Dawn, you have somebody in there like Jacob, who may be an preacher,
right?
But his heart is still in the right place, and he knows the verses and all that stuff. But that's just me.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty blasphemous.
Oh.
Sacrilegious, blasphemous, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you really don't like From Dusk Till Dawn.
No.
Which is odd, considering how much I love the movie.
No, but you've had the same kinds of people that maybe thought a little bit like me say the same thing.
Yes, I have.
You see, so you can't really pin this one on me, Bubs.
Oh, I'm just saying. We feel the same way, okay. But I still love you, babes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. I still love you too.
Oh, good.
Although our opinions differ on those movies.
Yes. Jaylo.
Yes.
Oh, were you about to say something?
No.
Okay. We watched The Meaning of Life after
Yes.
Used Cars.
And this was the second time I watched it.
I think it's the second or third time I've seen it.
I will mention first a problem I had with the movie, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, because I think we have the same
I
one.
completely forgot about this action scene. And I'm like, wait a minute, when is this supposed to start? Is this the right movie? And I completely forgot about it because they were climbing up on the building.
At the beginning of it.
It was a weird sequence. And and then all of a sudden you see the credits. One of the guys is singing in a French accent the Meaning of Life theme song. And then all the sketches start happening.
I could not agree with you more. In fact, I would even take it a step further and say the opening scene in the movie or sequence is very overindulgent. And it was a sign that maybe they got a little bit too much money to make this movie. I think the film would have been a lot stronger without that opening sequence.
I think it would have I think it would have been fine without it, honestly.
Yes. Having said that, maybe you should give the recap.
Well, there's not really a plot to it. They're just kind of going through things about life that people would think about, like why Catholics have big families.
That's great.
That was really funny and also a little bit disturbing because the kids were in it.
And then donated to do medical experiments
Yes, and then the miracle of birth where you couldn't really see much of the baby, and they were gonna give her some drugs, and it's like you'll have to find out why don't you go home and find out what all the details of the baby. and remember, you have to have the machine that goes bing.
Yes.
Because I guess it was like it was like a lot of equipment that was used.
That lets us know that your baby is still alive.
John Cleese was really funny in that scene.
John Cleese is great in pretty much everything I've seen him in.
So funny.
Yeah.
The one that I thought was a little bit weird and very risque was the sex ed class.
Oh, I love that.
And the boys were laughing at him, right?
Because John Cleese is having sex with his wife in the middle of class.
It seemed like the wife wasn't really reacting.
Yeah, she was just there to be there.
It's like, do you mind if I do? It's like, oh, yes, darling, go ahead. And I'm like, she's not doing anything. She's just standing there and...
At one point, they get into bed and he's on top of her and they're pretty much naked.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and how did he get the bed in there?
The bed came down from the wall.
Okay.
Behind his desk, if I remember right.
So it was implied that he lived close to that school, right?
I think it was implied, but I guess the bed was built into the wall.
Oh, wow.
Not to say that he lived there, but maybe once a year he did this with his sex ed class, so he had the bed there.
Yeah.
For those occasions.
And then the boys were laughing, and then it segues into this part where the boys were going to play at this game.
Yeah, and then it goes into war.
Yeah, that one was kind of funny too. He's like, sorry about the blood, sir.
We bought you this, and they're on the battlefield, and they're like, we should have a picnic.
You said you thought that was funny.
I did. My favorite one, though, was when John Cleese is playing the waiter, and this super fat guy comes into this very fancy restaurant, starts throwing up, and orders everything on the menu. At the very end of the night, John Cleese is like, oh, sir, you must have this mint. Come on, sir. And he feeds him the mint. Then the guy explodes.
He expands and then explodes.
Yes.
And it's all over everybody. What about that one dungeon scene where you see the middle-aged couple and they're like, oh, actually, you can eat this really good Hawaiian food in a dungeon setting. And they go to the dungeon and they're in the restaurant. You hear the people being sacrificed.
That was good. I like that too.
I thought that was a little disturbing.
Yes.
You know which one I really liked though? The Oregon thing was gross but funny. Mm-hmm. But I like the one where Death comes into the house.
Yeah, that's like one of the last ones. That's very good.
Yeah. It's like, Mr. Death, would you like a drink?
Then they shoot Death, and he's like, oh, is this testing this gun? And they go to heaven, and it's like, it's Christmas
in heaven.
Every day.
Every day.
Yes.
And so there is a Christmas in Heaven song, and I think they only played part of it. And then that was like one of the last scenes, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very odd movie.
Are you glad that you rewatched it?
I am.
I am too.
So I liked it slightly better than Used Cars. I do think that Life of Brian is funnier than this one.
I think that Used Cars is slightly better than The Meaning of Life.
Okay.
So we're a little bit reversed on that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm repeating myself, but Life of Brian, I think, is their best movie. Okay. And I hate that everybody always says The Holy Grail.
Oh, okay.
But that's just me.
I would have to agree with you on that. I think Life of Brian is funnier than The Holy Grail.
And the story makes more sense.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Enough about that, Jew. Whoa.
Do you think that there may have been some blasphemy in Life of Brian? Did we even talk about this?
I don't know if we talked about blasphemy in Life of Brian.
Yeah.
In a sense, you could say that because, like, the three wise men get the wrong baby.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie.
Yes, and bring the gifts to the wrong baby. Yeah.
But blasphemy doesn't bother me like it does other people.
Yeah.
Because, even though I'm a hardcore Christian.
No, you're not.
And I have my faith in my good book.
God.
I still have a sense of humor.
Now you're being blasphemous.
I'm not a hardcore Christian. Baby.
No, I'm being blasphemous. No, I gotta have to do something about that.
Okay. I'll check on you, man.
Okay. Take a...
Okay. Is it blasphemous to say you own a Bible when you don't?
It's dishonest.
Oh.
That wouldn't be counted as blasphemy, but it would definitely be dishonest.
Even if you're joking about owning a Bible?
Bubs, come on.
Okay.
It's dishonest.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah. It's dishonest.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Right.
Yes. But we had a good time watching.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
It was fun.
Is there anything else you want to say about the movie?
No, I just thought they were really funny in this movie. It was I think the scenes with the kids were disturbing to me.
I didn't find it that bad.
What about that one where they're in a congregation and they're remember when John Cleese was quoting from the Bible? He's like, "All right, everyone arise." And
that didn't really do it for me.
I didn't think it was that funny. And it was like, don't flay us, don't burn us, I didn't think it was that funny.
The reason I think, or reasons I like used cars more, I can't speak today and I never can, is one, used cars had a plot. Mm-hmm. And I know that this is a sketch movie, but I really like a consistent plot in a movie. Okay. And also, some of the skits just didn't work for me.
Yeah, some of them were hit and miss. Mm-hmm. The one where the guy kind of walks away, it was like towards the end of the movie. I didn't think that one was that funny.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I agree.
I didn't think, I was like, what is the point of that one?
Yeah.
The war was kind of funny.
It was. It took a minute, but it got good.
And it's like, sorry about the blood, sir.
Yes.
What did you think about the organ one?
I liked it. I thought it went on just a little bit too long.
I think it was a little bloody, and I think it would have gone. I wasn't sure why it went on so long, but it's like, can we have your liver?
Yeah.
It's like, no, because I am using it. Yes. And so tonight, I wanted to show you some movies that I particularly like, called Little Man Tate, which is starring Jodie Foster, and Patch Adams, which is starring Robin Williams, the great Robin Williams.
It should be an interesting evening, Jaylo.
Yes. Little Man Tate, of course, is not the best movie of all time. Oh. And it isn't necessarily my favorite, but I liked it.
And you think I will enjoy it?
I think so.
I hope so, babes.
Yeah. I think so.
Yes.
Good.
Did Tom Shadyac direct Patch Adams?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't really keep up with directors. I suppose I should, but I don't know.
Oh.
But Patch Adams is a really fun movie, and I liked Robin Williams' portrayal of him. But I believe I think Patch Adams may still be alive.
I think you're right, babes.
Yes.
Jaylo.
Yes.
You had a dream last night.
I did. It was very strange. I had this dream that I was listening to music on an old tape recorder I had, and that was a little bit odd, and I couldn't figure out how to turn the volume down, and I'm like, why can't I figure this out? And then my mom came into my room and woke me up and said, I was trying to look for your uncle, but because your uncle accidentally took one of my papers. He took my paper by accident. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Oh. And then I woke up.
Well, good.
Yes, it was very strange.
What do you want to do? I did not dream last night. So that's why I'm not mentioning my dreams, because I didn't have any.
Okay.
What do you want to do after this, babes?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
We'll have some fun.
Yeah, we'll think about it. It's still pretty early.
Yes, you will. Oh, we were going to do another Bible one.
Oh, that's right. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
But it's probably going to be a short one because we're only doing four
Psalms.
Yes.
Well, I'm going over 4 Psalms that I think are really good.
Oh.
I could go over the one that's a little bit longer, but it is 36 verses.
So here's the question. Do we want to do that today, Or do we want to do 5 Psalms next weekend with the one that's the 36 verses?
Well, it is pretty early. We don't even have to do that psalm in particular, but
what we could do, how about this?
Right.
We hang out, and if the Holy Spirit hits us, we can record Jaylo Loves Jesus today. And if not, then we can save it for next weekend. What do you think?
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
That'll work.
All right.
We will take a break and decide on what we want to do.
That's right. First, I need a kiss.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I don't know. I don't kiss heathens.
Neither do I, but I'm going to make an exception this time. Look, give me a kiss.
Actually, I think you're more receptive to some more than some heathens.
I'm not a heathen.
Okay, maybe you're not quite a heathen.
Thank you, Leah.
But I would consider you searching. But that's just my...
Well, I'm always searching. That's why I'm on Google. Is there anything else you want to say, babes?
No.
All right.
I think we covered it for now.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.